What's up, everybody? We are back. Episode 5 of Shifts and Giggles. I am Rafer Owens, your host. It is an honor to be here with you, walking through the simple shift method. Before we get into all the things that we need to get into today, I need you to know that I am working on some things for you guys that it's probably going to blow your mind. It's blowing my mind, and I'm really excited about it, but I need to get that off my chest. I'm working on some stuff behind the scenes, really get this like community going, getting some products to you guys, getting some things out there, making some things happen. I'm super pumped about all the things. Now that that's out the way, let's just jump into it and do the thing that we're supposed to do. So step 3 of the process, that's where we are today. Today is make a plan. Going backwards into the process. Number 1, we know where we want to go. We have taken the time. We have built some awareness. We know where we want to go, who we want to be, how we want to handle things. We know that. We've gained some tools, right? We started doing a little research. I like the way this guy talks. I like the way this guy talks. I like the way this guy writes. I want to read his book, whatever it may be. We got some tools and some resources. The next thing we need to do is we need to make a plan, and we need to make a plan that is going to work for us. My wife and I had $54,000 worth of debt in 2020. Now, at the time, we were making good money. It's not that we were not making money. I was just spending it all the time. It was how I had learned to emotionally cope with things. It was how I learned to feel in control of my life by spending money. Now, I am not saying that that's what you should do, because that is really bad. Don't go spending your money because you want to feel in control of your life. Maybe you should process your emotions. I did learn how to do that. That's a different story. But in this story specifically, we had this debt, and at one point, Jenny came to me and she was almost afraid to ask if she could go buy Trey, our son, some shoes. And mind you, Trey at this time is almost 3. So she comes to me and she was so afraid to ask if she could buy him some shoes. And I felt like the worst human being of all time. As a husband, as a father, I wasn't doing enough to show my family, one, that we, and specifically my wife, that we had enough money. It's like solid pandemic time. I'm out here supporting local businesses, buying donuts, getting coffee every day, every other day. I was having a good time living my life, and my wife was living a completely different reality than I was. In addition to that, there were phone calls and emails that were coming about her student loans, that they weren't being paid. I thought they were being paid. It was a whole mess. It was just a whole mess. A lot of things added up to this moment. And so in that moment, I felt so bad. I felt so horrible. I felt like a loser. I felt like I wasn't good enough to be a husband and a father in that moment. And that was the moment that changed my life. Yes, all the things we did, but that was the moment that really said, Rafer, you have to do something. You've got to change something. While this is happening, that summer, my job was going union. I was about to get a raise at work, and I was about to make more money than I had ever made in my life to that point. And I knew for a fact if I did not change anything about the way I was living my life, I knew I was going to spend this money. So we sat down. Well, before we sat down, I read a couple books. I read Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey, and I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And those books together, back to back, legitimately lit a fire in me financially like I'd never had a fire lit in me. And the big things that I took away from those books: one, Total Money Makeover. Money's not the problem. You are the problem. You are the issue that has to be overcome. And that just shocked me to my core because it had never been said like that to me. But it was the truth. I was the issue that needed to be overcome. It wasn't the dollars. It wasn't the bank account. It was me. And then Rich Dad, Poor Dad did a great job of just opening my mind up to what is possible with money. And so in reading these books, I was like, well, let's pay this debt off. Let's do it. We had a car, we had 5 or 6 student loans, and then we had a couple credit cards, $1,000. So we sit down and we made a plan. One, we knew that we could not pay the debt off in 2 months. We knew we couldn't pay the debt off in 6 months. And as we actually sat down and looked at the, what we could actually pay every month, it was going to take us 2 years. And we were like, okay. In sitting down and making a plan, 2 things happened in the process. We made a plan and we did the plan. But none of it would have happened if we didn't make a plan. Every month and probably once a week, we were looking at our budget, looking at the bank account. We were balancing the account to everything we were spending. We were doing all of it. And all of this was part of the plan. The plan was to make sure we were on the same page to accomplish paying this debt off as quickly as we could. Every extra dime, every extra bit of money, all went to our debt. And that was the plan. So through that entire year, we ended up paying the debt off in 1 year. And we'll get into the craziness that was the second half of that year. But we had a plan and we stuck to it. So many people, oh my gosh, you guys are so great with money. You guys are doing it. You guys are making things happen. All of this stuff. But what really happened was we just did the plan. And that is how important a plan is. Having a plan that is manageable, that allows you to be consistent, that allows you to stick to it, that allows you to see the results that you want to see. That is the point of the plan. Every single time having a simple plan is going to help you get unstuck. So often we may know where we want to go, we have tools, and then we just run. We just attempt. We just attempt with no actual plan to shrink this thing down so I can stay consistent. We just go, no plan. And because we just go with no plan, we end up stuck over and over and over again because now this isn't working or that isn't working. And that's just not true. You have to have a plan that allows you room to move, but a plan that gives you clarity of what to do on Monday through Wednesday and Thursday through Saturday and then Sunday and then Monday through Wednesday and again and again. You have to have a plan that gets you where you want to go. People tend to overhaul or start way too big. You start way too big and it's just too much to carry. And so when it comes to the simple shift method, the point of it is to meet yourself where you are. Meet yourself where you are. That's why we talk about the honesty in your awareness. Where are you? What are you capable of? What time do you have to really dedicate to this? Nobody's going to get up and just work out 5 days a week, but you may have the time to do 3. So if I have the time to do 3 and that's 100%, let me make a plan of doing something on those 3 days. I don't need to go and do 1 hour on those 3 days. Let me do something on those 3 days. And I build my plan around that. And the easier my plan is, the easier it is to stay consistent, the easier it is to see the results of what I am looking for. It's a wonderful process. So the plan answers the question, how? I know where I want to go. I've been honest with myself of where I am. And now I have some tools, some resources. It's time to make a plan. I want to take these tools and these resources, and I want to make this process as easy as I can for myself. And there are multiple ways to get there. There are multiple ways to make a plan. I want to give you 2 ways to do it. And I want to talk about why they work and why they won't work at different points. Number 1, SMART goals. And number 2, systems and habits. SMART goals are going to give you a very clear, actionable plan. It's an acronym that stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. All of these things matter in a SMART goal. And I believe that SMART goals are probably the best way to slowly step into something. It has to be specific. If I am trying to communicate better with my spouse, it needs to be specific. Every day, time bound, every day for a week, I am going to share something vulnerable with my spouse and calmly respond to what they feel about my vulnerability. It is specific. I can measure it. It's achievable, and it's relevant because I want to do this. I want to be a better communicator. I want to be better with my emotions. I want to process them. Okay. And it's time bound. For the next 7 days, I'm going to do this. And that first day, we'll talk about practicing it, but the first day is going to be rough. The second day, it gets a little easier. The third day, okay, it's not that bad. And the fourth day, as I keep doing this, the process gets easier. But because I have a plan, I have a goal to achieve, it helps me do the thing that I say I want to do. Every single thing that you want to do in your life can be started with a SMART goal. And the reason I suggest SMART goals over systems and habits are more about becoming something versus achieving. When I have a system, when I set up my life in a way that I'm going to always do this, I get out of bed, and now my habits say, when I get out of bed, before I go to my phone, I change into my workout clothes. Then I go to the bathroom because I am going to work out. I am a person that works out. But to start there is very hard. It's very hard to jump into a system and to tailor your life around who you want to become if you have not done the work to just do it first. And so SMART goals are going to help me do that. SMART goals are going to help me start small. They're going to help me have clarity. They're going to help me do the thing that I say I want to do. So when it came to our budget and came to paying this debt off, legitimately, we didn't even know we had SMART goals, but we did know every month that we wanted to have a budget for every pay period. I was getting paid twice a month at that point. We needed to have a budget every pay period before we got paid. We needed to discuss it. We needed to agree. And then we needed to decide how much debt was going to be paid off in that pay period. So it was specific. We knew exactly what we wanted to do. The main goal, pay the debt off. measurable. Every dime that does not go to a bill or to a need or to a specific thing is going to go to debt. It was achievable because we had the money. And it was relevant because we did not want to be in debt anymore. We did not want this on our shoulders. And then it was time bound. And every single pay period, that's what we did. And so when you look at this overall process and you go, man, you guys were going to have 2 years to pay it off. Yeah, it sucked. And as we started paying off, that time went from 2 years and it started shrinking because we kept paying it off. We just did the plan, and the plan proved itself worthy. Every single day, all we did was show up to the plan that we had created. Again, SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. So often we'll have all of those things except the time part. And the reason you need a realistic time is because you will not get it done if you give yourself too much time. You have to make sure that you have a time frame attached to it. That's the beauty of it. Again, systems and habits are about becoming versus achieving. As we're doing this, as we're practicing, as we're learning and adjusting and we're evolving, we are going to have a clearer picture of who we want to become and what our life is going to look like. We're going to have that. We're going to have this constant refining. And so your systems and your habits will become who you are. And when you get to that point, it is much easier to change what you want to do and change how you grow and change who you want to become because you've put so much work in already. Systems and habits allow you to say things like, okay, I'm going to work out 4 times this week or 5 times this week. That's what I'm going to do. The SMART goals that I was doing have now become the things that I always do now. I know I'm going to do them without question. I know we're going to check the budget. I know we're going to write it out. I know we're going to have a discussion. I know we're going to follow what we said we wanted to do. That is now a system. Your SMART goals, if you can stick to them and stick to the plan, they will become the new systems that allow you to carry and build new SMART goals. And it's the coolest thing. But that is how you make a plan. You sit down and you make sure that your goal is specific, that it is measurable, that it is achievable, that it is relevant and time bound. And every single time you want to start a new process, start with your awareness, get some tools and some resources, and write out some SMART goals. That is the whole of making a plan. Every time you sit down to make a plan, it should be simple. Help yourself do well. Help yourself do well. It should be simple. If your plan of action seems to be too big, shrink it. That means it's not achievable. It's not achievable, and we want it to be achievable. Can I actually do this? And so that's what I want you to do. I want you to start planning SMART goals. Give yourself a clear path to success every single time. That's how that's going to work. Remember, take your time. You can only do what you can do. The Simple Shift method is not about overhauling. It is about meeting yourself where you are. And speaking of meeting you where you are, I have been working on some things, like I said at the top of the podcast, behind the scenes that I'm so excited about. Make sure you join my email list. The show notes will have all the details you need, whether that's YouTube, Apple, or Spotify. But I got really big things coming for y'all, and I'm really excited for all those things to pop off. So thank you again for being here. Join the email list. Please subscribe to this podcast. Share it with someone if it is helping you. Send me your questions and comments, your concerns. I love what we're doing here. I love what is happening. It's really cool. It's so awesome. And really excited to see this thing keep growing. Yeah. Remember, shift happens on purpose. And that's the only way life is going to change. Peace out.